Patience, patience, patience. It's the only way at this point of the game. But I'm on this total crypto market cap chart, and this is excluding top 10. So basically, altcoins. This is an altcoin chart. And so far, it just occurred to me something. From the bear market lows to the recent swing high, over 500% gains. After this current dip that we're in, we're sitting at around just under 300%. So I realized, I'm looking at this chart, when I zoomed out, I realized where a lot of the frustration comes from. And you can spot frustration on each chart, like why markets are getting frustrated, altcoin holders especially getting frustrated. You can spot it on each chart, and we're gonna kind of take a look at that. But the reason why is this. If you look at where we are in this cycle, right? Here's Bitcoin halving, here's a bear market low. If you just look at last cycle, the bear market low through Bitcoin halving, we're essentially like somewhere around here, time frame wise, and just look how flat this chart is, right? And if you even just measure the gains of last cycle from the bear market low to around this moment, we're looking at thousands and thousands of percent gains. And right now we're up like 300%. That's part of the frustration. We have a very, very just flat, higher high and higher low consolidation. And if you've been in here, if you've been in the space previous cycles, maybe many people not as spoiled this cycle so far as they have been in previous cycles. And that's one thing. But the reason why that's important to note is because when you start looking at these other charts, Bitcoin, and you look at Bitcoin dominance, then we start getting clues of, okay, well, then what does the rest of this cycle look like for altcoins? And that's kind of where my head's at right now, because I'm just like many of you. I absolutely would enjoy breaking finally on this chart, all-time high from last cycle first off, and actually just going parabolic, right? I want to see that too. So I want to start with Bitcoin, and then I want to go to Bitcoin dominance, and then actually look at total crypto market cap chart. And we're going to just try and get some clues to help navigate through the current cycle that we're in. So hit the subscribe and like on the way in, and let's just do it. The first thing to set the tone, I was revisiting this myself, and I want to share it with you. It's something I often do, especially, if some time goes by, I want to get a refresher of like where we are right now. We are around 308 days post Bitcoin halving, according to this chart, right? And this is a weekly chart, and I can already tell you right now, this should actually be, and this always gets changed when I'm on a weekly or a daily, but this should be right around the 20th. So this should be over here. So we're looking at around 294 days post Bitcoin halving. Last cycle, from the Bitcoin halving to like all-time high area, 500 some days. But the reason I have this arrow here, and this is where the technical analysis kind of becomes important to me, this is what we're going to dissect, is because at this moment, 580 days or so, you can see Bitcoin falling below the 20-week and the 50-week. And this was really the start of the bear market, right? And then if we go to the last cycle, before that, in 2018, entering the bear market, falling below those two moving averages, 679 days. So we have 581 days, 679 days after Bitcoin halving. And then we go all the way back here to 2014, Bitcoin falling below those two moving averages, entering bear market, 623 days. Now, if you just look where we are right now, we're 294 days past the Bitcoin halving. This picture, for me, is one of the most meaningful things and one of the most meaningful visualization exercises I can possibly do to say, where are we in the cycle? And maybe I should pace myself here. Because if you actually look at the charts, we enjoy this, right? I get it. We really do. And even last cycle, we enjoy this move. But do you realize the health that lies within this chart? This is such a healthy higher high, higher low Bitcoin chart in a new era, an era that we've never been in. So put aside that we're only halfway, right? Right around halfway to historically where we even start seeing a bear market start. The way in which this chart looks is very healthy. What I want to say and make a note of is, let's just see. Let's watch the 20-week and the 50-week. They're always just support areas to watch for, right? Even exiting the bear market and going into this first major consolidation, pulling into the moving averages, normal. What happened there? Just exact support we'd want to see, right? Right between the moving averages and bouncing higher. This is where we are now. This is possible. Pulling into these moving averages and then going higher. And what plays into this is the shorter term technical analysis. It's the throwback to the inverse head and shoulders, right? This is something we've talked about. So falling back into that range is normal. And that 50-week moving average is right around 75,000. That neckline just above it, the 20-week is right around 90,000. Maybe we don't even have to do that, and Bitcoin just pulls into the 20-week and still sideways, but then it's higher, right? So that's Bitcoin. And I wanted to make a note of that because if we see Bitcoin start falling below the 50-week and the 20-week, these two moving averages, the blue and the green, then we really have to start talking about, a macro bearish environment. But right now, all these things considered, I think Bitcoin is looking incredibly resilient and strong in a way in which it hasn't in previous cycles, but still similar to previous cycles. You could even look 2 cycles ago. Look at the 20-week moving average support multiple times for Bitcoin all the way back here. And this is what we're doing right now. We're testing that area. Going over to Bitcoin dominance, it's another kind of visualization of the frustration in the market that I completely understand. That is to say, Bitcoin dominance, it from a time frame perspective has diverged, right? Other than that, it is just in this lower high Fibonacci, which for months and months and months, we've just been waiting for Bitcoin to get here and then fail there. But anywhere in this range is in play. Lower high Fibonacci up to 65% dominance, maybe around 66% dominance. If we look at last cycle, just bouncing off the lower end of that Fibonacci, we would absolutely have enjoyed if this was the case. And it was very much starting to look like it, right? Altcoin season triggered, but then Bitcoin's kind of bouncing back to the upside and it's testing this lower high Fibonacci. But all of this move right here, this is where altcoin holders are kind of, I think, feeling the pain. Things are really being tested. People are doubting their altcoin holdings. And that's fine. It's always good to step back and reevaluate. But for me, I've not seen, just because Bitcoin dominance is stronger, right, than last cycle and hasn't immediately fallen, I've not seen that Bitcoin dominance is doing something that we at least haven't anticipated for months prior. And if you've been watching my videos, all through this move, the move that we've been waiting for is Bitcoin to get rejected off of this range. And we allow for Bitcoin to even make it up to the 66% area, the higher end of the Fibonacci. So right now, who knows how this is going to play out, but we continue to track it. What we want to see is Bitcoin to fall below these moving averages, the 20 and the 50. And it hasn't happened. It almost did, and it's just got that bounce. And now we're just bouncing around between the moving averages and the Fibonacci. So it's something to track, but it's a very nice visualization of what's going on with altcoins, the frustration of it. But before we look at the altcoin chart, just think about what's going on. Cardano files for Cardano ETF. SEC acknowledges Grayscale's filing for its spot XRP. 85% chance Solana ETF is approved in 2025. I don't know if I need to remind you, but it was not long ago. I think it was January 2024, like right here somewhere. Bitcoin ETF was just approved. This is a brand new ball game for Bitcoin, right? This is bullish for Bitcoin. Well, we have that brand new ball game just getting ready to start for altcoins right now. And so that's where altcoins are. So when we look at a total crypto market cap chart, it's kind of like same thing as Bitcoin, same thing as every other chart in crypto. It's like if you can zoom out and see the macro long-term picture, it's all about just pacing yourself, positioning yourself, and managing your own risks and being comfortable in your position. But look at the long-term trajectory of this chart. It's very difficult, and you can get in a lot of trouble if you just start kind of freaking out about these little moves. And this is what's happening right now. Because again, from bear market lows, we're up right now, right? We're seeing higher highs and higher lows, even on this altcoin chart. This is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's very dangerous to make long-term decisions because of little moves like this, becoming bearish because moves like this. And you can zoom out on this entire chart and see exactly what I mean. Like right here, becoming bearish because of that dip. COVID becoming bearish. It's in these environments where often is the best opportunity. I'm not trying to sell anybody on anything, but just zoom out, right? We are up so far. The altcoin chart is actually looking a little similar to Bitcoin, like higher low, and now we evaluate and we watch. And right now, what I wanted to show you on the altcoin chart, and this is again excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, is really where we are, like 287 days or so post Bitcoin halving, right? And look at the oscillators. So 287 days right here, this chart was already ridiculously overbought, right? And it didn't mark the top, but it's the beginning signal of let's start being careful and let's start on the macro, start looking for things like bearish divergence and things of that nature, which obviously you start looking at this, right? And then I look at the chart now and I'm like, it does not look like altcoin season has even barely started, right? This was kind of like the kickstart of it. But all of this move, and it might be better illustrated on the monthly, all of the move has not even happened. Look at this. And I'm just not in the camp of people that thinks there will be no altcoin season. I think it's going to be a very explosive altcoin season. Look at this monthly chart, right? So higher lows, even on the RSI, this moving average line in yellow, right? This nice little support there. Right now we're trending back down to the area. I don't know if it will hold or not, but we'll monitor, we'll see. But then we have just the chart itself. We have the 20-month crossing above the 50-month, right? This move just happened. And we have a nice just consolidation again on the monthly, sideways, volatile, all over the place, crazy swings. The market is cooling down. So the upside for altcoin season, in my opinion, and that's all it is still very much there. I'm not trying to offer hopium. I'm in this game for the long term. I don't know. Let's go back to the weekly. Let me go back to the weekly. And this is, at the end of the day, this is my perspective, right? And I think I said this in a video the other day. Here's the 20-week moving average down here, like $550 billion market cap or so. We're at $904 billion. Maybe it all just crashes down to that area, right? I've been doing these videos since 2018, really the top of this bull market into this bear market. So just to give you an idea of my perspective, I've been long-term bullish and I'm still long-term bullish, if not even more right now. So this move, even, will be such a pain. It will be so not enjoyable, especially creating content in the move. But I just want to say, there's opportunity down there for long-term investors. And big money is seeing that right now. Big money will see it down there. The smart money will see it down there, and the smart money sees it here. So that's my perspective, everybody. I think some people got in right here and they're frustrated. It's very evident in my comments section, probably even in this video, because obviously I'm bullish up here too, right? So people are just like, you're always bullish. Now I'm down. You don't know what you're talking about. But this is the reason why I'm bullish. Zoom out on the chart, back it up, and just look at where the space is headed. Pace yourself. That's the name of the game right now. I don't know how else to say it, but I'll continue tracking these charts. When we get some short-term action that's kind of fun to track, obviously we'll do videos on that as well. But if you're out there, I hope you're doing well. Please hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber, turn notifications on, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.